Welcome to the Nifty Chicks. In this Nifty News episode, we cover CryptoPunk's flipping Bored Apes, Fewocious smashing records, and dining in the Metaverse. You can now also buy NFTs on a payment plan and top Solana projects Overtakes, Doodles, and Azuki. Let's do this.
Welcome to the Nifty News, Jen FT. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? And Mindy, so where are you?
I am still in Denver, Colorado, and it is and has been just lovely being here. I love being back. It feels like home.
I love Colorado. It's such a great state. Well, we've got so much to bring everyone today in the news. So I say let's just go right to it.
Let's do it. So first thing is we're going to be talking about CryptoPunks flipped Bored Apes for the first time in 5 months. So that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I guess it was only for a very short amount of time.
Yeah, it didn't last long.
Exactly. But I think one of the interesting things is like these kind of staple NFTs, they're just not going anywhere. And even though their floor price is so much less than what it was 6 months ago, it's just they are the blue chip stock. So I think it's pretty interesting to see them kind of fight that first place spot. And CryptoPunks had been kind of closing in on the Bored Apes for a little while and finally was able to trump them for a little bit. So very interesting.
Okay, so moving on to Fewocious smashing records on secondary sales. The Sailor, his art, The Sailor, resold for 350 ETH, which is, as of right now, around 500,000, I think.
Yeah, it's super impressive. And for anyone who doesn't know who Fewocious is, he's a 19-year-old teen NFT artist who identifies with the queer crypto artist NFT community, hails from Las Vegas, but now lives in New York. He began creating art in 13, and later he was drawn to digital art as a refuge and escape for the young transgender artist. So super cool story. I think his art is so complex and bright and beautiful and super fun. There's kind of like different, not only shapes, but also dimensions of it, even though it's digital. It's just, super impressive. So I'm not really surprised that people have caught on to his talent here.
Yeah. So I want to play this video. This is cool. I don't know if it's $500,000 cool, but what do you think, Jen FT? Would you pay $500,000 for that?
Maybe if I were in the market, if I were playing ball in that league, I would. Yeah. But because I think it's super cool and I love the abstract and I love the colors, but it's a little out of my price range.
Yeah. So this is crazy. It says in here that Fewocious at 19 has amassed close to 50 million in NFT art sales. Can you imagine being a 19-year-old with 50 million in sales from your digital art? That's just crazy.
I can't, but you know what? That is the way of the world right now. It's back in the days, the art world, it was like only valuable once you died. It's like once you died, then your art skyrockets. And here it's like we're seeing a total shift for especially the young ones to really capitalize and, monetize their talent. So it's very cool. I just think this is another example of how NFTs is like really providing true financial independence for, people like Fewocious.
This is just, it's interesting to me, but so basically we're talking about food in the metaverse. I'm not really sure how that works because I'm pretty sure you can't eat in the metaverse.
You know, it's interesting. Like the NFTs, the NFTs for restaurants make sense to me. It's basically a rewards program. It's a way for
Yeah.
people to capitalize on that. But which we've talked about in the show in previous episodes of various restaurants kind of doing this. But the metaverse, one of the companies here, Panera Bread, customized virtual world called Paneraverse. And I don't know what that's going to look like. I have to believe, I believe that we're going to be eventually in a space where we are doing everything in the metaverse. And when I say everything, we do eat in real life. So I would imagine we will be
Right.
eating in the metaverse. But what that looks like, I can't even begin to imagine. But I
Yeah,
think
I
it's
can't
coming.
either.
I think it's coming.
I guess so. It just seems weird to me. I mean, so we talked about, I don't remember if it was last news or a couple weeks ago, but Starbucks. And I saw somebody, I don't know if this is real or not, but I saw something on Twitter that somebody was talking about Starbucks, it being their NFTs being priced at like zero 0.8 ETH or something like that, which I was surprised by. But then everybody was like talking about, well, what do you think you get for that? And
Right.
I mean, it has to mean free coffee, right? Of some, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think what would be interesting is if some of these companies, maybe the exact experience that they have in the real life can't transition over to the metaverse, right?
Right.
But I'm wondering if there's a way to bring the metaverse into their cafe, into their real life cafes, right? So if you walk into a Panera, maybe
Mhm.
perhaps that sparks kind of metaverse experience for you on a tech level. You're not in the metaverse, you're in real life, you're in a Panera
Right.
in real life, but they are kind of bringing the metaverse. I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm pretty excited that like companies are, especially food companies, because I freaking love food. And so I'm just excited for like food companies and restaurants to be like in this space, trying to get in the space wherever they can and however they can. And I'm excited to see kind of who leads the train there. It's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't, it just, for me, I'm like, I don't really want to go in the metaverse. And I don't know if I'm going to go out to eat or something, I'd rather do it in real life.
Well, I mean, yes, I would like to taste my burger.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I
I'm right
guess
there.
we'll see what happens, right? Like, who
Yeah.
knows what they'll come up with.
Yep. All right, up next, we've got NFTs to go. Buy now, pay later at New York Fashion Week in September. So I don't know about you, Mindy Cell, but I am very familiar with the buy now, pay later kind of model, the afterpay, the layaway. There's a part of me that's a little scared that it's going to open up the doors for people who can't afford the NFTs to then go ahead and buy the NFTs, hoping that they can afford them later. So I'm a little worried about that. But what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are if you can't afford $100 for an, probably should be putting it on layaway. But that's
Right.
just me.
Right. Yeah. So this is going to be debuting kind of their key, actually, no pun intended, the keys to New York Fashion Week. It's basically going to be designers who are creating art that you can buy for $100, and it gets you some access to some really cool things, including some physical objects, which is super cool. But you and I always talk about fashion. We love fashion, and we love the fact that the fashion industry is embracing the Web3 space. So this is just one more
Mhm.
kind of step in that right direction. But not sure about it. What is going to open up as far as a can of worms of people who can't afford the NFT buying them. But we'll see. We'll see how that turns out over time.
Okay, and this last article we've got, Solana NFT project DeGods overtakes Doodles and Azuki, which I'm very surprised by. You just don't think about Solana being bigger than really anything on, in the NFT world, but good job, DeGods.
Yeah, super impressive. And like you just mentioned, it's mostly Ethereum that we hear about. Most of those kind of blue chip NFTs are on the Ethereum blockchain. So for a Solana project to be coming up and taking over some pretty big Ethereum projects, I think is just speaks volumes for the fact that there is volume on the Solana blockchain, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. So something to watch.
Yep, definitely. All right. Well, that's all we've got for the news this week. We just want to say thank you for listening, and we would love it if you would go give us a review on your favorite podcast player.
That's right. And always remember, invest in yourself. You are worth it.
Please listen carefully to the following disclaimer. Neither the host nor the guests of the Nifty Chicks podcast are acting in the capacity of financial advisors. We wish to remain transparent and impartial to the NFT community at all times, and therefore, the content provided by the Nifty Chicks hosts and guests are intended for general information purposes only. Nothing written or discussed by the Nifty Chicks hosts and guests should be construed or relied upon as investment, financial, legal, regulatory, accounting, tax, or similar advice. Nothing should be interpreted as a solicitation to invest in any cryptocurrency or NFT, and nothing herein should be construed as a recommendation to engage in any investment strategy or transaction. Please be advised that it is in your own best interest to consult with investment, legal, tax, or similar professionals regarding any specific situation and any prospective transaction decisions. You must do your own research when considering investing in cryptocurrencies or NFTs. We are simply sharing our journey with you as we learn more about the world of NFTs. Happy minting.